Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Batwoman. This time we're on Season 1, Episode 9, Crisis on Infinite Earths, Part 2. So we're on to the second hour of our Crisis crossover, and the first one packed quite a lot in. The first one was pretty, I think I've seen some people saying it was rushed, but to me it just felt very, very fast paced, and like I said, to me it felt like the opening to like how the story of Infinity War opened to like most of the main characters, like, you know, the story caught up with them. It's time for Crisis now, so there's no more time to prepare anyone else for Crisis or to have anyone go around collecting stuff for the monitor. The Crisis is here now, everyone has to be ready for it whether they like it or not. So in that sense, the story came to the characters and they had to follow along and adapt to it in time. But now I think everyone is involved in the Crisis, everyone's aware of what's going on. So now things are getting real. Things are going to get real. But the first episode of the crossover saw both Argo City and Earth-38 as a whole being wiped out. Like, that whole universe was being wiped out. But Argo City was the first to go, and we had a nice little kind of full circle scene of Lois and Clark sending baby Jonathan to Earth from the planet in a pod, which ended up going through like a wormhole into Earth 16 Star City into 2046, where Earth 16 Oliver actually saved it. But yeah, Harbinger managed to save Lois and Superman, as he was one of the heroes that she managed to recruit for the Crisis. And she brought Oliver and Mia and the Legends and Batwoman to Earth-38 to the DEO to help them prepare, because Argo City was one of the first on the hit list, if you will, for the antimatter wave. But Allura didn't make it. Kara's mother did not make it, so her and the remaining Kryptonians have been wiped out of existence along with the rest of the planet. But then soon afterwards, the antimatter was on its way to the Earth of 38. So all the heroes needed to get ready and work together to actually put up the quantum tower and help evacuate the planet, which they did. What's her name? Alex went along to enlist Lena's aid in the evacuation of the planet, but, you know, we're still sticking to the Supergirl portion of things, and, you know, she made it clear that, you know, she was willing to work with them to help save humanity. Of course she was, but she wasn't willing to work with her on like a friendship level. They were literally just two people trying to save the planet here, so, you know, she's still very, very much holding tight onto that grudge of being kept in the dark about Supergirl's secret and being lied to and stuff. So that does, of course, extend to Alex. But yeah, in the end, I think she made it as well. But they brought out all the pods, all the Legion ship from the Legion left behind. Jean gave Brainy gave Jean the keys to, and then all the other alien refugees on the planet as well. Like, they pulled together their ships and got people out. And I mean, the obvious question was how they actually evacuated the entire planet in time. But I think that was the thing. Like, did they actually? Well, the monitor said they managed to save out of 7.5 billion people, they managed to save 3 billion, and of that 3 billion, I think it was 1 billion actually managed to survive because Oliver held out longer against the army than anyone else did. And Oliver, I'll get to that one in a minute, but yeah, because Oliver held out longer than anyone else did, like, he managed to save just that many more people. So 3 billion actually survived out of that 7 billion. So I think the rest are people from all around from all around the rest of the planet. But then that raises the question of, like, who from Supergirl like hasn't actually made it then, and, like, you know, because then that means James didn't make it. Ms. Grant didn't make it. Again, still thinking of her seasons later. Like, so many people just didn't really make it. Andrea, William, Leviathan maybe didn't make it. Because then, I mean, I mean, it's an extinction. It's the biggest extinction level event in history. So they surely would. They surely would have gotten some kind of a heads up about it. So maybe they would have known to transport to another universe. But I don't know. But I mean, for Supergirl alone, this changes stuff because Earth 38 is gone. That entire planet is gone. So Supergirl doesn't really have a home anymore to go to. So everyone's been moved over to Earth 1. So now there's like a billion, well over a billion refugees from another Earth populating Earth 1, doppelgangers as well. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this stuff actually unfolds. And because they said Crisis would affect the Arrowverse in very, very big ways, and it would be very impactful for the characters and for the stories alone. So I guess we'll see exactly how big of an impact this, like the last episode alone, has. But yeah, we had that. We had some Easter eggs. We had Earth 9 being shown to be the Earth belonging to the Titans, the DC's Titans. So we saw the Hawk guy and Robin. Not the Robin who's the lead character, I don't think. Not the one played by Brenton Thwaites, but some other kind of Robin. So I don't know if that's like... I mean, what other Robins are there? I think there's Damian Wayne. Yeah, I think that's Bruce's son, like Bruce and Tyler's son. I think there's him. Then there's, who else is there? There's, I don't know. There's Jason Todd, right? I think he was Robin before he was Red Hood, right? I think so. Yeah, I think he was Robin, and then stuff went down with the Joker, which then turned him into Red Hood. Yeah, I think he was Robin before he was Red Hood. Yeah, so he could have been either one of them, but either way, there was a Robin and there was the Hawk dude. So yeah, but the Titans were shown to be a part of the Arrowverse. They are Earth 9. We had the Earth X glimpsed at us with the ray flying over, but Earth X is gone. We saw antimatter wiping out Earth X too. So whether or not the ray survived that, and whether or not Citizen Cold survived that as well, the Leo of Earth X, whether they survived that is also up for question. But we had the OG Robin as well from the original. I think it was the original Batman and Robin TV show. The one with Adam West, like the Robin actor from that, going like holy crimson skies of death. Sounds like a very that kind of Robin thing to say. So seems like it. And then we had something I actually didn't recognize because I haven't seen the Tim Burton Batman movie. We actually had like a glimpse of someone from that, like Knox or someone, like a character or an actor from that. So that was cool too. So it's a lot of these different Earths. So technically speaking, even the movies are just like in some way a part of the Arrowverse. Because for so long the Arrowverse has been able to kind of incorporate the multiverse into its own universe. So technically speaking, some of the movies are like the extended universe is a part of this as well. That could be like Earth 10 or Earth 5 or something, but I don't know. But we got a nice glimpse of these other Earths and how they're being affected by the Crisis 2, by the red skies and the antimatter. But yeah, so we had Nash returning at the end as Pariah. He said that he had actually he is no longer Nash. He was that once upon a time long ago, but now he's Pariah, and he was the one responsible for freeing the Anti-Monitor from his confinement. So my guess is that when he actually opened that door in the sewers, when he opened up that door with the blinding light, that was him actually releasing. That was what he did. He actually released the Anti-Monitor, but then he got sucked into the light, and now he's forced to become Pariah. He's being forced to watch the consequences of the Anti-Monitor's actions. So he's forced to watch whatever the Anti-Monitor does and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, he's Pariah now. And of course, the emotional cliffhanger of the last episode, the emotional ending of the last one, like what I'm considering to be an emotional red herring. But yeah, we saw Oliver Queen die. Apparently we saw that because Oliver held out longer than anyone else, and so he fought to his last breath to the words of the Monitor, and he kind of suffered the worst kind of physical fate compared to the rest of the group. He ran out of arrows, and so he ran at the army with no bow and no arrows, willing to fight to his last breath, and he came out of it battered and bruised and cut and bleeding and all that sort of stuff. So So yeah, he came out of that then, and then he was transported back to Earth 1 by the Monitor, and then he gave his emotional, teary farewells to his friend, to Barry and to Kara and to Sarah and Mia. And then he breathed his last breath, and he seemingly died. But I'm calling it that is there is no way that is the death of Olive Queen. There is no way they would end it like that. Not in the first hour of the crossover, and not like that either. If he is gonna die, he is gonna like being Oliver Queen alone. He is gonna go out in a much more high key and far more emotional way than that. Like, don't get me wrong, that one had me on the edge of tears, but he is gonna go out far more dramatically than that. That is way too early and way too anticlimactic of an ending for him. And it's just way too early in Crisis of Him. Like the Monitor himself has kind of has built up Oliver to be this high key player. So you know, taking him out now would just be way too much. And even the Monitor said this wasn't the ending he foresaw for Oliver. So you know, my guess is he'll resurrect him, and Oliver will keep fighting until a much bigger kind of turning point for the Crisis. So yeah, but that is pretty much all I have from the first one, so we'll go on to the Batwoman portion of things and see what else happens and who else gets introduced. So yeah, Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 2. Let's go.
Beings of the purest will who can ultimately Beings of the purest will.
No, yeah, go to Auntie Kara. Oh, giving him to Nick. Nick is good with children. Nick Rory is good with children. Are you kidding me right now? Wow.
They are known as Paragons.
I'm sorry. Go back. Bruce Wayne is the Dark Knight.
If we could all keep that to ourselves, that'd be great.
Okay, so that's Ray discovering that truth.
Will lead you to the Paragon of Courage.
Bruce Wayne.
Who wants to meet Batman?
I do. I'd really love to.
An entire universe wiped from existence, distilled down to a computer graphic.
No way. Lex.
Missing that wow factor.
Lena killed you.
Yeah, only for a little while.
Oh, snap. Okay, Kara, hold yourself back. Kara, hold yourself back. And Kate can make you die again.
Unfriendly.
Kate can make you die again, which I would very much be happy to see. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Lex Luthor has the Book of Destiny.
He's going to
Look what happens when you resurrect him, huh?
If he kills the Paragon, we're all doomed.
You told me everything I need to know about you.
Why don't you share your opinion when it's about your life?
Huh.
Why don't you share your opinion when it's about your dad?
Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah, Mia is very much determined to bring her dad back by any means possible, then. That much is true. Earth 99, Gotham City. Oh, snap!
We're not used to having guests.
Kevin! Holy shit! It's Kevin!
Kate.
And he knows Kate!
Bruce? An Earth with a functioning Lazarus pit.
Oh, good.
Okay, well now what?
I need to hear you say it.
I'll do it.
Yeah, okay, you need to do this, John. We can't risk him being a soulless Oliver. As much as I would love to see him mercilessly beating the crap out of sort of shit shadow demons again. This is Earth 167 Smallville. Tom Welling! Tom Welling!
It's either him or the buff guy on the paper towel rolls.
Tom Welling, Superman!
You do that with one bare hand. Who are you?
Lex.
Don't you know me, Clark? I'm Lex Luthor.
Oh, god damn it. Be careful, Clark. Be very, very careful. Wait, what?
That's kryptonite.
He chucked.
There's no effect on me ever since I gave up my powers.
Wait,
Gave up.
what?
Your
He
powers?
gave up his
Miss
powers.
these jets.
You were basically a god.
I think it's time for you to
Oh, snap.
still stronger.
Yeah, still strong, still buff.
Enjoy your little slice of mediocrity while you can, Clark.
Oh, so he's not gonna bother
You're
to
all
kill this
doomed
one.
anyway.
Okay, he's not bothering to kill this one. No, he'd rather fight one with superpowers. Lois! Erica!
Were you talking to the cows again?
Lois!
From another Earth. Apparently the multiverse is ending.
Yeah, we could really use your help, but then again, you don't have your powers, so...
Bill, you made it funny.
Sounds like a
The
job.
girls!
Us.
He has kids, he has daughters, he has a family. Aww.
Paragon of courage. But then you take one life,
And then it becomes too many.
then another,
Mm-hmm.
then another.
Oh damn, he's killed.
My Kate put on the cape. Thought she'd succeed where I failed.
And she
All
died.
she did was get herself killed.
Well, I'm not her. The whole damn universe.
Come on, Bruce. You can be that man again. The good man.
As he caressed the nape of her back, he struck like a cobra. You like that? So do I. It's my best writing. Anyway.
Oh, that thing's gonna need more than a PG rating. Much more than a PG rating.
Excuse me.
Clark!
Sorry. You see
Clark! Oh. Oh god, he looks just like he did back then, back in Superman Returns.
nice glasses. Oh, thanks. Do you have a second?
Sure.
For a citizen of Metropolis?
Oh,
Would you
damn.
mind contacting my assistant?
Superman's glasses.
Belong to Superman. His alter ego. At least.
He killed Superman?
Who's killed this Earth Superman?
Who do you think put him in that exoskeleton?
Oh, snap.
A reject from Gotham felt that we didn't cover him enough. So
Batman.
played what he called a practical joke.
Oh, Joker.
Gassed the building.
Oh,
people died?
shit.
I lost everyone in one fell swoop.
Almost as if you've been through more loss than any mortal
So
man
this is
could
the one that lost hope.
It's actually one of the least insane things I've ever heard. First,
Ah!
stand face the
Oh, damn, that suit looks good. Yeah, that suit looks amazing. And he's got the curl as well. The classic Oh, you dick
I
bag.
thought I'd say this, but kill Superman.
Oh, he's gonna make them fight, isn't he? He's gonna make Superman fight Superman. Oh, dear God. Oh, dear Rao. Whoa! Oh, the Superman fighting on the Daily Planet. That's gonna make the headlines.
Let me show you how it feels to lose the ones you
Oh, he's gonna go after Lois and Iris. Oh, no, no, no. Very bad idea, very bad idea, very bad idea. Can those two not take out Lex? Just punch the... Yeah, there we go. Finally.
Later. They would want your memories of them to lift you up, not drive you to darkness.
Come on. Oh, he's got that classic laser vision too.
Everything to you.
Yeah.
Who you are.
Come on, Clark. Remember who you are. Jonah Hex!
I don't care who owns it.
Without the melted face. Boom. Oh, yeah, don't touch the lady. Whoa. Oh, snap. Oh, knives. Oh, knife. Oh, crap. Oh, she's giving him the scar. Whoa, punched him into the knife.
Life only makes sense if you force it to.
Oh, snap. Oh, he's got kryptonite in his suit, in his exosuit.
Souvenir.
So this Kevin Conroy Batman is bad. He's evil now, really? Oh, he's gonna try and fight Mia. Mia, be careful. Mia, be Okay, yep, sedation. Good, yep. Sarah's been through this enough to know.
It shrinked his body.
Okay, yeah.
Still have to get his soul back.
Don't be a fool.
Oh, jeez. Oh, you try and get Takara, she will stand in your way. Whoa! And she killed Kevin Conroy. That happened. Wow. Okay, so
Oh, so do you
Yeah.
have gluten sensitivity too?
Oh, Ray meets his doppelganger, his Superman doppelganger.
He looks just like my son, Jason.
Jason.
Well done.
Aww.
Apparently there are still a few bugs.
Your machine works just fine.
Really?
That light is the Paragon of Courage.
Yeah, well, Bruce's body isn't on the ship.
Kate.
No,
It's Kate.
but you are.
It's Kate. Kate is the Paragon of Courage.
You are the Paragon of Courage.
Mm-hmm. That's my girl. Paragon of Courage.
What if I end up like him?
No,
You won't.
it won't. You care about helping people, not killing them.
You'll make your own destiny.
Yeah.
That's Beth and me. From S1E9.
Damn. Aww.
I wish I knew her like this.
Maybe you still can.
Instead of as Alice.
What good is being the paragon of hope if I don't have any?
Yeah, so you maintain that hope and you keep fighting the good fight in other universes. In whatever universe you choose to go stay home in now. She kept the kryptonite? She kept the kryptonite, why?
I am the Anti-Monitor.
Looking like some Night King crossover.
There is work to be done.
Damn. Okay. Okie dokie. Wow. Again, these crossovers pack in so much. Wow. Okay. So, there is one thing I have to kind of listen to before I start with the review. Something I think I might have missed out on in the beginning. So let me just go back and check that out. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, it was the scene where the Monitor's actually explaining about the Paragons, and then Baby Jonathan's continuously crying. That scene was hilarious. That was hilarious. Like the music builds up, and he's like, "Yeah, Paragons, people of hope," and then Jonathan just starts crying, and the music cuts off like that. That timing was perfect. But yeah. So this episode was about finding the 7 Paragons, heroes of of the purest will and hope and courage and whatnot, all the purest qualities of a hero that were capable of fighting alongside our heroes in the fight for the multiverse. So yeah, so we got, oh god, there were so many heroes, so many Easter eggs in this episode alone, so many Easter eggs. So let's go down the list first. So the 7 Paragons, we have 4. Kara was the Paragon of Hope. Sarah was the Paragon of Destiny. And Superman 2 was the Paragon of Truth, or we said the second Kryptonian. This one was the Hopeless Superman. So this one, I believe wait, which one was this? Because we saw 2 of them. I think this one. So this one. Wait, which one was this? Because I think we had I think this one. I think we had Welling Superman. So that was Earth 167 is Smallville Earth, where the Welling Superman resides, and that one is the one where Welling gave up his powers. That Clark gave up his powers. Yeah, he gave up his powers. But he's still buffed up and jacked up his shit, so he's still got human strength. But he gave up his powers, and now he lives on the Smallville farm with Lois, with Erica Jones as Lois. That was cool to see, and they have a family together. But whether or not did he give up his powers because he was hopeless? I think he said. I think maybe or. Well, because I think, because they went to see him first, but then they were sent back to the ship. Wait, was that them? That was them, yeah. Then they were sent back to the ship. But then they moved over to Earth 96, where they found Brandon Routh, Clark Kent. That was the Kingdom Come Superman. So that one. So I mean, wait, is that the same one from Superman Returns? Is that the same Clark from Superman Returns? Because I mean, as Clark Kent, he very much reminds me of the Clark Kent from Superman Returns, but the suit is obviously very different. It's got a very different emblem, very different suit design. He looks like he's going a little grey too. But that one, I think he doesn't seem. I mean, he didn't seem like he lost hope. I think he. Well, I think no. He actually did seem like he lost hope. Yeah, because he lost everything. Yeah, because the Joker moved from Gotham to Metropolis, and he gassed the entire building with poisonous gas, and he killed off like a lot of people, like a shit ton of people. He killed off. He killed Lois. He killed Perry White, and he killed Jimmy as well. So yeah, so that Superman was probably the hopeless Superman because he lost everything. So I think he stopped being Superman after that because the loss was too great. So yeah, So that I guess that one was the hopeless one. But yeah, so that was that, and then Lex Luthor. Of course, I mean, it's only like a Lex Luthor thing to do. Like, you know, the Monitor brings you back, so then you steal the Book of Destiny and you travel universe to universe trying to kill off every single Superman until there's none left. But then he'd be going on forever. It's literally called the multiverse. The universe is infinite. Like, that would literally be all he's doing for the rest of his life. But he's a madman. He is a homicidal maniac. So spending the rest of his life killing off Superman is literally something that would make his dreams come true, and he'd probably make a career out of it or something. But yeah, so he stole the book and traveled universes trying to kill Superman. So he killed, I think, they were on Earth 96, and wait, when they were on Earth 96 though, they saw that they saw that news footage that showed the Lois played, well, the same Lois as 38, the Elizabeth Tulloch Lois over the dead body of Superman. So that Superman, was that him? I can't tell. Can't tell if that was actually him or not. Let me go back to that news article. Way back here. No, after that at some point. Okay, I can't remember which one it was. I think I can't find the scene now, but there was one that they went to where they actually saw that news footage in live, like of Lois kneeling over the dead body of Superman. So I can't tell if that was still in Earth 96. I doubt it was Earth 96, but regardless, that was one of them. So that was how they found out that, you know, like the Earth they were on, like Lex had already killed that Superman. So that happened, but then they traveled to Earth 96 and they found Brandon Routh's Kingdom Come Superman. So that was very, very cool. Earth 74 has legends, or a legend. I think he said the other ones died or something, or like there used to be legends, but then they died, so now he's the only one left. And that Wave Rider has Leonard Snart AI, which is super cool. And Mick's just the writer. He's living off the Wave Rider. He's living in and off the Wave Rider. But he's pretty much the same as Earth 1 Mick. He's quite literally the doppelganger of Earth 1 Mick. Like, he's an alcoholic. He's a writer. You know, he seems just as smutty as Earth 1 Mick with Cage's Eye, and that scene of him reading Cage's Eye to Jonathan as a bedtime story. Oh my good god. But I mean, even in the beginning, the idea of Earth 1 Mick being good with children never even struck me. Like, the dude is a former criminal. Like, he's been known for burning people alive, and he's good with kids. So, you know, like I mean, no offense to Mick, but he's not the first one you think of in terms of being good with children. But yeah, Earth 74 Mick read his own writing as bedtime stories for Baby Jonathan, so that was funny to see. Earth 99, the Bat of the Future, Bruce Wayne, Kevin Conroy. A very different ending than I anticipated for him. I did not expect to see him going down such a dark path and actually being killed in the end too. So, damn. But he definitely went down a dark path, and Luke Fox was very different too. Not just a six-pack, but he was, demeanor-wise, he was also very different. He seemed a lot kind of more brash and, you know, like, I don't want to say cooler, but he seemed a lot more hipster, let's say. Yeah, hipster seemed like a better word for it. But Bruce himself, he went down a dark path. He left behind the code. He left the code behind. So he killed one man, and then it became another, and then another, and then he just kept on killing until he lost everything. So he lost his code, and then he lost hope in that code, and then he stopped being the Batman. But he killed Clark. He killed the Superman of Earth 99, and I think I don't think he ever mentioned it, but I think maybe it started off with a friendship, but then he saw Bruce, he saw Clark as really, it's like, too kind and naive. Like, he said, you know, the way he described him was the way Lex Luthor would describe him, like, oh, the being from another world with otherworldly powers, and, you know, like, too strong for this world to be able to handle and all that stuff. Like, you know, he described him like Lex Luthor would handle, but then he said, you know, Clark was too nice, and he said yes to everything, and he was always too naive about, you know, like, the goodness and the badness in people. So then he killed him. So he killed Clark. He killed Clark to get rid of that naivete and all the stuff that he hated about him. And kept his glass as a souvenir. So he's got the Joker's card as a souvenir from that, and he's got he had like some kind of, what was that, like some kind of snow globe, or I think there were two broken sticks. But where was that? That was with Kara. Yeah, that was with Kara. Oh no, I think that's the Riddler's. Yeah, I think that might be the Riddler's cane. Yeah, that's been snapped in half. Yeah, the Riddler's cane has been snapped in half. So that's the Joker's bloody card. Then, yeah, the Riddler's cane has been snapped in half, yeah. And then Superman's bloody glasses, yeah. So, and then in the end, he decides he wants to take out Kara as well. But, of course, Kate, being the good friend, the great friend that she is, she decides that if Bruce wants to get to Kara, he's gonna have to go through her. But then, you know, Bruce, for one thing, he's an old man in an exosuit, so he's not really, I mean, besides from the kryptonite in said exosuit, he's not really got much going on. So it doesn't take much of a Kate to really overpower him and throw him into the electric box generator thingy and electrocute to death. But wow, that is not the ending I foresaw for Kevin Conroy's Batman. I mean, he mentioned Clayface, he said, because he was wondering how Kate was here, because the Kate he knew was dead. Because he said Kate, after Bruce lost his way, Kate picked up the Batsuit for herself and tried to do what he failed to do, and then she got herself killed. So he knew that this wasn't the Kate of his life or his world. And he said that, you know, Clayface was just a puddle of mud, so Clayface couldn't have been impersonating her. So I'm still wondering what kind of Superman this is. If this is one pulled from the comics that hasn't been adapted into anything yet, or if this is something related to Arkham. But I don't know. Because I think Arkham Batman never killed anyone. Well, not from what I can remember. No, as far as I can remember, Arkham Batman actually went through that entire series, like, never actually betraying that code, never betraying the code of killing anyone, never succumbing to that. I mean, he couldn't give the cure to Joker in Arkham City, so that happened. I mean, he didn't kill him intentionally, he just like, the cure was just lost. Because he dropped it off the Joker, jumped him. So, yeah, but he never went around killing him, so this has to be a somewhat different version of Bruce from the comics, adapted for Kevin Conroy to play. So yeah, but Kevin Conroy, he was brilliant. He was brilliant as Bruce. He was brilliant as Bruce. I think it's weird seeing him in live action after hearing his voice adapted for a CGI body model for so long. But seeing him as Bruce was still cool to see. And he definitely has that kind of futuristic Batman look to him, like futuristic in the sense that he's been Batman for a while, but then he's gone off the grid or gone off the rails or something. So he definitely has that Bruce Wayne feel to him. So yeah, it was good to see him, but now he's gone. He's dead. So that one is not the paragon of courage. That Bat wasn't the paragon of courage, but it took Kate to realize that. I mean, Kate going there and actually discovering the truth about that Bruce for herself, and then taking him down. And then eventually she discovers she herself is the paragon of courage. So it makes sense. And I'm proud that Kate herself gets to handle such a prestigious mantle. And I think, I think it does make sense that Kate has the courage herself to actually pick up the Batsuit and actually do, even on her Earth, do what the Bruce of her Earth isn't around to do. He's far too absent to do. She has the courage to pick up the Batsuit to reinstill that fear in her enemies and to actually fight the good fight while her cousin's off doing God knows what. you know, it makes sense that you know, her having done all that she's done and her having gone through all that she's gone through, she and like after having lost what she's lost, she's still maintained that kind of courage, like to actually do the right thing whilst never betraying the code. So it makes sense that she would be the paragon of courage, because I think a Batman that's killed is one that's betrayed his own code, and if he's killed, then there's no telling what else he's willing to do. So then if he doesn't really have the courage to do what's right, he's just willing to do it by any means necessary. He doesn't. If he has to give his life for it, then you know he'd probably just try and take that as a means to fight to the death. But Kate knows that you know like with courage comes the cost of responsibility, so you have to make sure that you actually stand as a beacon of courage for others and actually show them what the right thing to do actually is. So yeah, Kate is the paragon of courage. But she kept the kryptonite. She kept the kryptonite from Bruce's suit, from Bruce's exosuit. She kept that little kind of capsule of kryptonite around. Why? Why would she need the kryptonite? And especially she shows it after Kara leaves. Why would she need that kryptonite? What kind of game is she playing there? I don't know. But she kept it around for some reason. But reasons which I presume we will see in the next episode. But that's that, and that, and that, and that, and that. But yeah, that was that. Earth 167, so that was that. Earth 18 was Earth 18, North Dakota, was where we found the Lazarus Pit of another Earth, and I was right. So they did go straight for the resurrection in this episode. They did go straight for the resurrection of Oliver in this episode, and they brought Constantine along to help them find the Lazarus Pit, and also to keep him around to bring back Oliver's soul as well. So Oliver is resurrected, so they didn't keep him dead for long. They did resurrect him, but I think this felt I mean, not that it's wrong for me personally, but I think it definitely did feel like it definitely was more of an emotional resurrection. Like they did I think they accepted that he was gone far too early, that they did need him for Crisis, but I think at the same time it was far more emotionally charged. Like none of them wanted to lose Oliver in this fight this early, and continue the fight without him. Like in that sense, it definitely felt more emotionally charged, and I think they're more emotionally charged than anything. But at the same time, it's like they knew that they needed Oliver for the rest of Crisis, so that wasn't like another reason they brought him back. But at the same time, Oliver has been resurrected. I think Sarah managed to sedate him before he actually started his bloodlust beatings. But Constantine can't bring back his soul. Apparently, he can't, because the antimatter is going around wiping out these universes. He's losing his magic apparently. But I mean, his magic isn't directly connected to the multiverse, is it? Or maybe if he's in a universe that's that's in danger of soon being wiped out by the antimatter, then that would mean that his magic is under threat. But he said because of the universe being wiped out, his magic was under threat, and he can't use it as strongly or as much, and he can't. And in that moment, he couldn't actually do the magic to bring back Oliver's soul. So I mean, last time we saw him bringing back Sarah's soul, there was a whole fight that ensued with like the with the League Assassins back in Andaparbart in Sarah's kind of soul palace or whatever, and they're there to pull Sarah out of that pool whilst Constantine was fighting that that League Assassin dude off. So I think, I don't know, I mean, I doubt this I mean, I think the procedure would be the same with this one. They still have to go into Oliver's mind and pull his soul out while Constantine fights off someone. But I don't know if it would be the same kind of, like, background and enemy and all that stuff. But yeah, so they've resurrected Oliver. But the main task at hand now is to actually bring back his soul. So, yeah, how they're going to go about doing that, I think I don't know, because I think the monitor said the monitor said his powers are weakening because the crisis is here now. Like the crisis has begun, so now his powers are under threat. But with the crisis the antimatter going around doing all this stuff within the universes means that the antimatter is becoming ever stronger because more and more antimatter is taking over the positive matter universes. So then he's becoming all the more stronger. He has more to control that way with antimatter universes. And the monitor himself being the monitor of like positive matter universes, he has less to control, so he's becoming weaker and weaker. So there's less he can actually do in terms of resurrection and other kinds of stuff. So yeah, but I don't know where that stuff is all going to lead. I think hopefully they can find a way to bring back Oliver's soul soon in the next episode, but I think that they're going to need it. They're going to need a fully restored Oliver for the coming battles. Like, they can't really fight. I mean, they could fight with a bloodlust Oliver, but then he might attack anyone and everyone. He might even attack his own friends. So they need one who's in control of his own mind and in control of his own actions in order to fight effectively in the crisis. But yeah, seeing him almost about to attack Mia, that was some worrisome shit. That was some worrisome stuff. But again, he's soulless. He's got a bloodlust going on, so it was good of Sarah to actually sedate him on the spot before he did any actual damage. But now his soul, where would that be? I mean, it wouldn't be in hell because he never made any kind of deal, and he's not destined to go to hell. So John wouldn't have to go back down there. I mean, his soul would probably be in the Lazarus pit, though, right? Probably. Yeah, so, like, I mean, they would just have to go deep into his mind or whatever and just actually retrieve his soul the same way they did for Sarah, but that magic just isn't working for John anymore, so they'd have to either try that in a place of stronger magic, or they'd have to try a different way, so, yeah, but we will see how that gets uncovered in the next episode. What else? Jonah Hex was on 13. He was the defender or something of the Lazarus pit, but he didn't have a scar. He didn't have that scar or like a melted face. I think it was less of a melted face and more of an actual like scar. But then Sarah gave him that scar when she dragged the knife across his thing, and then Mia punched his face into the knife. So now Earth 18 Jonah Hex has that scar too. So yeah. That was that. So now I think. I mean, I doubt any of these characters are gonna stay gone for long. I think as much as as nice as these glimpses and Easter eggs are, the ones who remain alive, I think they will come forward in the final battle, and they will be useful for actually fully permanently taking down the Anti-Monitor. So yeah, I'm curious to see how this all goes down, but I think they definitely will actually be useful in like more of the coming battles, so yeah, it will be good to see them then. That was that. What else? So Sarah is the Paragon of Destiny. Superman 2 was the one of Truth, and Kara was the one of Hope. So those Paragons all make sense, and now Ray has actually built up. I mean, yeah, Ray meeting his Kryptonian doppelganger. That was something I didn't think I would ever see. I mean, the whole Brandon Routh being recast into the DC TV universe as the Atom thing is something that people have memed for so long, like being like, I think there was one meme I saw where it was like, like you either like, well, I can't remember what the meme was, but it was showing like how like some actors have been cast into really like less appealed or like less approved or some really like less popular superhero roles. So like Ryan Reynolds being Green Lantern, Ben Affleck being Daredevil, Chris Evans being the Human Torch, and Brandon Routh being Superman. These were all like less positively in some way, like they were generally less positively received kind of roles, but then they were recast. So Chris Evans became Cap. Brandon Routh became the Atom, and Ben Affleck became Batman, and Ryan Reynolds became Deadpool. They became much more positively received heroes, and that was the meme. So now, like with this, it's like And even in the Dominators crossover, we had Ray saying like, you know, oh, Kara really looks like his cousin. So he has a cousin that look like that, you know, obviously that was a joke on the whole Superman being Kara's cousin thing, but still, like, Ray meeting his Kryptonian doppelganger, that is like so cool. Like it was such a genuinely wholesome moment to see as well. Like, you know, like just like Kryptonian Ray being Clark, and you know, like Earth One Ray being Ray, like both of them just look like literally like looking in a mirror, except for the grey hairs and stuff. And then when they were side by side by the computer as well, like just looking at the Paragon detector, like that kind of thing, it was just so like cool to see. And it's like it's the beauty of having these crossovers. You get these characters meeting each other, interacting after so long, and it's like, you know, it's like literally like a comic book page come to life. But yeah, that was cool to see. That was really, really cool to see. I think if I can go back to that scene, that was somewhat towards the end. Yeah, so yeah, Superman and yeah, so Ray and yeah, I mean, what was that? Like, where was that? That was here. Yeah. So it's like, I mean, it's easier to win when the camera's switching place, but yeah, I think, yeah, it's like they both recognize each other as each other's doppelgangers and stuff. So yeah, and Lois is just confused, like she's seeing two of the same, seemingly of the same person, and they're both like they're both around the same height, and they're both jacked as shit, and yeah. So I mean, you can tell they're different people at the center. Like even, I mean, obviously Cactus is different people, but the fact that you can tell one of them is Ray Palmer, like Clark, like him as Clark, as Superman, he's like, you know, he's like that kind of like kind of socially anxious but like outgoing kind of guy. He's like he is Superman, but then Ray, he's like really bouncy and bubbly, and he has a really happy and positive personality. So you can definitely tell between that line. Like Ray himself, Ray, like as a result of his personality, Ray is just super stoked to see the fact that his doppelganger is not only Kryptonian but is also Superman. So in another world, he is literally Superman. Like that alone is blowing his mind. But yeah, that scene is incredible. But yeah, so where was I going? Yeah, where was I going with this? I had a point. I lost it when I started fangirling about Superman meeting Ray Palmer. I don't know. But then obviously he meets his son as well, so he gets a chance to hold baby Jonathan too. Yeah. So that happens. So then the Paragons have been detected. So I think, okay, so they found 4 Paragons. So they have Kara, they have Sarah, they have Brandon's Superman, they have Kate as well. She's the Paragon of Courage. So they have 4 of them. But then there are 3 others. So there are 3 other heroes. So who they could be, I don't know. I mean, I'm reaching for strings here, but I really badly want to say that they could be unintroduced superheroes. They could be superheroes that we've like heard of in the Arrowverse, but we've yet to hear. Like one of them could be Wonder Woman. It could be Green Lantern. Could be Aquaman. I mean, I want to say that, but then the chances of them actually being introduced into the Arrowverse is just so slim. Because like the closest we can get is literally references. That's literally references, or maybe like. Or they could bring back Linda Carter, like on another Earth, on Linda Carter on Wonder Woman's, on the original Wonder Woman's Earth, like Linda Carter could still play that Wonder Woman, so she could be a Paragon for something, like the Paragon for wisdom or something, or like I don't know. I mean, she has the lasso of truth, but Superman is a Paragon of truth, so I don't know. Maybe justice, yeah, justice or freedom or something like she could be a Paragon or something. So they could bring Linda Carter. I mean, I know again, chances of it happening are pretty slim, and given how at the same time we got Kevin Conroy coming back, but I mean, given how Kevin Conroy and Brandon Routh Superman coming out, being in the crossover was still kind of rumored / confirmed. I think it's likely that if something like that was going to happen, then we would have heard something about it. But at the same time, it's like I still really badly want that to be true. Like for these unintroduced heroes to actually be Paragons somehow, and to be a part of this crossover. But what we're getting is, it is still quite a lot. What we're getting is still quite a fair amount. So you know, it's amazing. It's amazing that we're getting this much, but I feel like it's not really too much to ask for. Just a little bit more. But we will see where that stuff brings us. But in the end, I mean, throughout this entire episode, we saw Harbinger dealing with with voices in her head, and then by the end of the episode, we saw that she was transported to what looked like an otherworldly Star Labs. It looked like an otherworldly Star Labs, but I'm not sure. But then she was walking through a hallway, and she saw we saw the shadow of the Anti-Monitor and the voice of the Anti-Monitor coming through. So he's recruiting Harbinger for his own purposes. But we got our first proper look at we got our first proper look at the Anti-Monitor. Yeah, we got our first proper look at the Anti-Monitor. So he looks monstrous, but he doesn't actually look like he's not actually a monster. He reminds me of Apocalypse from X-Men. Yeah, like the comic book Apocalypse. Yeah. I mean, I feel like the color scheme is a little off, or maybe this one might be more accurate than what we got in the movie, but I mean, this one, he reminds me of Apocalypse, and especially his face, like it being all like wrinkly and alien and stuff like that. It reminds me, and like especially like those pipes going down his back from his arms and his suit, he reminds me of Apocalypse. I can't be the only one who sees that, right? I don't know, but I mean, he reminds me of the Apocalypse I've seen from various kind of comic references, but yeah, definitely some Night King stuff going on. But this is the Anti-Monitor, and he is recruiting Lila for his own mission and for his own team. So yeah, but the Anti-Monitor is coming. The Anti-Monitor is coming, and as the Antimatter wipes out all the different universes and more antimatter takes over the positive universes, he grows ever stronger. So they will need all the help they can get in order to actually stop the Anti-Monitor and actually return him to wherever the fuck he came from and keep him there. But yeah, all these heroes. So we got Brandon's Superman. He's joined the team. Earth 96 Superman. We've got Earth 167 Smallville Wellings. I mean, I haven't watched Smallville, not properly anyway. I've watched tidbits of it here and there, but nothing consistent or nothing spoilery or anything like that. But like small fight scenes and stuff here and there. But Smallville Superman, obviously, I mean, I've heard a lot of people say that the Arrowverse exists and is as successful as it is because of Smallville. Smallville was the first show to actually incorporate all these heroes and to even try and create its own Justice League. So Smallville was the OG kind of Arrowverse, and it was initially on the WB as well. So, you know, Smallville was where it all started off. So that much is that much is for what I know. But Smallville Welling coming back, I think that was a very, very super cool thing to see. And even Erica Jones's Lois. I mean, if Kara saw her, she'd see her mother, but she didn't know Tom Welling Superman. So I mean, I don't know, like, I mean, I doubt she'd recognize him because I think she's never really seen anyone like him on Earth 38. But I mean, she would recognize Lois as Allura. But yeah, I mean, what else is there to say about this? I mean, I'm just lost for words because I think I'm just still trying to process all the faces we saw and all the Easter eggs we saw. Like, this is going to be a nightmare for me to edit. This is going to be a full-on nightmare for me to edit. But oh god, just when I thought this crossover couldn't pack any more in, any more stuff. But I was wrong. They can pack in all the more good stuff for us to see. But yeah, I think the next episode of Crisis will be the last one we get for now until January, because I think we get 3 episodes of Crisis before the new year, and then after the new year we get the back end of Crisis. So whatever happens in the next episode is going to be big, and it's going to be cliffhangery. It's going to end up on a massive cliffhanger. I'm calling that right now. But yeah, so what else? I'm just lost. I'm so lost. But I mean, what I found interesting was that, you know, like was that Lex actually wanted a challenge. He wanted a challenge. He wanted a challenge with killing Superman. He, you know, upon finding out that 167, like Smallville Superman, like upon finding out that he gave up his powers and everything to live a normal life, he refused to fight him. Like, I mean, I was shook as hell when Clark literally just grabbed that kryptonite out of his hands like it was a pebble and then threw it into the open. He just picked it. He just took it out of Lex's hands and threw it away like it was nothing. He was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I've lost my powers. Kryptonite won't do jack shit to me in this universe, or any universe, because he's lost his powers." So obviously the powers are a part of his physiology and his biology, but would losing his powers means he loses everything? He remains human, so he loses his weakness to kryptonite as well. I guess that would only make sense. Yeah, I guess that would only make sense. So it makes sense that he'd lose his weakness, but he'd also lose everything that makes him Superman. But now he's only Clark Kent. So yeah, but that one definitely felt more like an Easter egg more than anything else. He's lost his powers, so he won't really be very useful in the fight for Crisis. So that one was definitely more of a Easter egg than anything else. And Clark and Lois and Iris, they were a cool team as well. Like seeing Lois and Iris working together, like to the two reporters of the two reporters of the multiverse working together was really, really cool to see. And I think it would have been better to actually see them working together to actually do something like themselves, like working together as reporters or working together as just as those two characters would have been cool to see, because again, they are known for being the two like budding and like courageous kind of reporters, like willing to go like to investigate really deep and murderous stories and stuff like that. So seeing them working together, maybe the next episode, but I think this one was like a taster to see what it would be like to see them working to actually find the Paragon. But yeah, that was a pretty good trio to see teaming up, like finding the other Superman. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have. I've gone through everything I've written down. I can't really think of anything more. Partially because I'm still processing all the stuff I've seen. Partially because I need coffee before I continue. But yeah, this was insane. This was an insane crossover episode to see, and I am all the more looking forward to all the rest to come. But yeah, I think that is pretty much all I have. I'm honestly just racking my brain for what else I could have missed out on, any other details, but nothing really comes immediately to mind, which I assume it can only mean that, once I actually stop recording, I'll have much more to actually think about. But yeah, I think this felt very endgamey. No, this felt very endgamey in the sense that they split off into teams to find the different Paragons, like finding the different Infinity Stones throughout history. But with this one, they travel throughout the multiverse looking for the 7 Paragons to put them together and to create that team of heroes that will help the Arrowverse fight. To be honest, like the 7 Paragons consists of members of the Arrowverse anyway. So I think. Barry could be one of the, they only showed one on the, Barry and, Kara was on the Wave Rider, so she, I think, maybe it detects them one at a time? Maybe you could detect them one at a time? I don't know, but, Barry and Oliver weren't on the Wave Rider, so, his detector probably detected the closest one in range, so that was on the Wave Rider. So, the next one we could see Barry and Oliver being uncovered as Paragons or something. But Kara was already uncovered as a Paragon. She's a Paragon of Hope. So, she's a Paragon. Sarah's a Paragon. So the main Arrowverse people are still Paragons. So that the rest of them. Oh, okay, then that would be more likely than bringing in unintroduced superheroes. So yeah, so once when Barry and Sarah and Oliver all return to the Wave Rider, it could uncover Barry and Oliver as Paragons too. I think that might be what happens. So what Paragons could they be? Barry could be the Paragon of what? Of Peace? Do we have a Paragon? We don't have a Paragon of Peace. Maybe Barry could be the Paragon of Peace. I don't know. Maybe. So, I don't know. I'm stuck thinking of something related to his speed, which is which the Paragon thing isn't. But the Paragon thing is mainly like a it's not a personality trait, but it's more like, you know, to do with like willpower and courage and all that stuff. So it'd have to be something to do with that. But I think that might be the route they go instead of. I mean, to be honest, like me, my theory of unintroduced superheroes being Paragons was pretty kind of far-fetched anyway. So, you know, Barry and Oliver being uncovered as Paragons upon return to the Wave Rider is something far more likely to happen. So that could be the route they go down, but we'll have to wait until the next episode to see that. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have from this episode. But yeah, the search for the Paragons definitely gave me, definitely thinking about it now, it definitely gives me like Endgame vibes, like when the Avengers are searching for the Infinity Stones throughout history, like now the Arrowverse is searching for the Paragons of the multiverse throughout the multiverse. So that was really cool. But I think, yeah, it's definitely giving me like good vibes to see how much like you can still draw similarities and how much they are still kind of using inspirations to structure this, and how well structured this is so far. So now everyone knows what they have to do. Everyone has been brought together as a team. They've suffered a loss, and losses in Kara's case. And Kara wanting to use the Book of Destiny to actually bring back her Earth. I think that's not really going to end well. I don't know. I mean, because that feels more scripted than anything. Like she can bring back her home in any way she wants. So that might bring back like a version of her home different than anything she's ever actually had before. So, I mean, for better or for worse, but I think that plan isn't like it doesn't feel like that's really going to work out well. But at the same time, they would still need something to actually continue Supergirl on her own show. So in that sense, they would need Earth 38. But can the Book of Destiny actually combat the crisis in that way? Because I mean, the Monitor initially used that book to actually test different Earths against the circumstances of crisis, against different multiversal theories, but can the Book of Destiny actually be used to resurrect a antimatter-ridden Earth? Or like a universe in itself? I don't know, I feel like that would be messing with the laws of reality more than anything else, but I mean, you know. And again, Kara is still reeling from that loss. She's not thinking about what could go wrong. She's thinking about how she can actually bring back her home and her people and her universe as a whole. She's thinking more emotionally in that sense. She's not really thinking much on what could actually go wrong in that regard. So I don't know. In the next episode, maybe she does actually bring that idea forward to someone, and then they actually maybe point out the pros and cons of doing such a thing. So hopefully we see that explored more on later, but it does make sense because I think the kind of fault of not having an Earth 38 around for Supergirl's own show brings up that kind of trouble. How do we go? Where do we go from here? How do we continue with this story? How do we continue with these characters with their home planet gone and them being forced to move into another multiverse? But you know, it's questions that will be answered later. I think next episode she will bring up that kind of Book of Destiny theory to someone, and then hopefully they can actually explore that more in depth. But with the crisis coming, I think they are going to have to refocus all their efforts on saving what they have before bringing back what they lost. I think that might be what they explore more in the next episode. Like, you know, as well as the battle incoming, they'll actually they'll actually reinforce the idea that everyone has to focus on saving what they have left, and what the multiverse has left, as opposed to trying to resurrect what they lost in the middle of it all. But I mean, Oliver being the exception for Barry and Mia and Sarah's case, Oliver being that one exception, bringing back their lost comrade, their lost friend. But then again, I mean, as emotionally charged as that resurrection is, they're not really bringing him back just for the sake of having a friend back. They are bringing him back because he is a hero, and they still need him for the coming crisis battles. So you know, it's a mixture of emotion and also a requirement of strengthening numbers and needing more firepower and stuff like that. So you know, in that sense, it makes sense, but. We'll see, but yeah, that is pretty much all I have with this. My brain is fried now, thinking about everything that happened and all the Easter eggs that happened, so now I can't really think of anything at all else to say, but I'm sure you guys can pick up on details that I've either lost or misinterpreted. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have from this one. So yeah, that was Batwoman Season 1, Episode 9, titled Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 2. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on the episode and what you think is coming up next in the crossover. The uncut reaction for this one will be up on Patreon, so feel free to go check that out. And yeah, that's it. So, I will see you guys next time.